Hello, everybody. It's good to be with you. So I want to talk to you tonight about a subject that could really make a difference for you and can make a difference for you right now. It's going to sound negative. It just is, but it's not. So what I am suggesting that you might want to do would be to give up all hope. He said, what? And I was just, give up all hope. And let me tell you why. I'm not suggesting that you jump into a pool of despair. I'm just saying that you give up all hope. Because what is hope? It's a story of future. It is. It's a story about later. It's a story of future improvement in whose conditions? The characters. Whether it's health or finance or love or whatever it is, if there's or awakeness, clarity, the level of clarity I'm at. Oh, I certainly hope I'm going to be clear later, right? What happens is when we project into the future like that, we miss right now. So, just test this with me before you go negative on this. So, in the absence of hope, right now, in the absence of hope, what do you find? This, perhaps? What is? At least on some level, truth. See, hope is just it is the unwillingness to give up on the future of the character. And man, that's exactly what we're trying to do. Is we have to give up on the character, and that includes the character's future. Like what's going to happen to Fred after he wakes up? Well, Fred never wakes up, so don't worry about Fred. He'll take care of himself. Just think about you. You don't wake up either. Matter of fact, nobody wakes up, but at least you'll know what we're talking about because it feels like you're waking up. And we could say that awakeness wakes up to itself, although awakeness does not have the capacity for sleep. So it's hard to say that it wakes up. What is hope? I hope things improve. I hope things get better. I hope this will end. I hope this will start. I hope I get over this. I hope they get over this. I hope they forget what I've done. I hope they remember what I've done. Hope, 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 hope. Future, 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 future. So, and the idea is that I'm going to wake up as soon as I get what I'm hoping for, right? That's when I'll do it, right? Because I've got a benchmark set up. I had a friend of mine tell me Friday that I told him actually. I said $1 million ago, you knew that if you just had another $1 million, you'd be okay. And that lasted until you got the other $1 million. And then you raise the bar, right? So now, once again, I'm hoping I'll get what I want so that I'll then be able to take the time and attention to pay towards waking up, which is way down my list of priorities compared to this list of priorities that I'm going to leave behind when the body dies. I have all of my hopes and fears pinned to this. If you give up hope, you get to give up fear. There's no one here to fear. Doesn't mean that the body's not going to take evasive action if it gets chased by dogs or something. It will. I assume. It hadn't happened, but I imagine it would. I'd like to think it's that damn smart, not that unenlightened that it would sit there and allow them to come up and either eat the body or nuzzle the body. I'd rather not find out, but I mean, if it does, it does, right? I just want what is. See, when you don't want what you're hoping for, you learn to want what is. And it's really easy to learn what is because you do it right now. See, the problem is that with acceptance, there's always this idea that sometime in the near future, I'm going to accept all this as it is, right? In the near future, pretty soon. But I mean, I can't accept this, not like this. I mean, who could accept this, right? I'm waiting for a future that I can surrender to. I'm waiting for a teaching that a time, that a situation, a place. I'm waiting for conditions to be just right so that I can then wake up. You will never wake up. Never, ever. Or you might, you might have by the grace of God, you may get a pop. And pops can be important, but pops can also just be pops. Right? You can have a pop and it mean nothing. You can have 3 pops and it mean nothing. I don't mean that it doesn't mean that there's something going on, but I mean it's gonna take more than that. If you're not willing to give up what you're doing to pay attention to what's happening right now, then pops ain't gonna do it for you. If you don't have a commitment to this, and who am I talking to? There's no one there. There's no one there. There's no one here. So who could possibly have a commitment? It's a way of speaking. That's what it'll feel like. Because what is that? That way of speaking, I'm giving up on hope. See, I can't take on acceptance, but I can give up hope. Sure can. I can give up hope right now. Because I can sit down and make a list of the things that I'm hoping for. And then I can dash my hopes on each one of them. I really can. And it sounds like, oh man, you're dashing my hopes and dreams of a future. This doesn't mean that you don't make practical plans or practical goals. Like I know where I'm going to be in pretty much all of December and January. If I'm have any question about that, I can ask Betsy. She will tell me what my goals are in terms of attendance at things for those months. So I make plans, I make goals. But I'm not married to any of them, right? I mean, they're just plans, right? And what could be looser than plans? Because there's my plans and then there's the plan. And I notice that quite frequently, most frequently, the two don't line up. And I don't care. I don't care if they don't line up. I don't care if Fred's preferences are not met today. Right? I mean, I'll notice it, but I don't really care. Because you can't satisfy one of these units. You can't do it. You can't make it happy. You can't win. You give it everything in the world, and it'll be just so grateful and so happy until it notices that, and if there is no more, it will imagine more, so no problem. So you could have everything in the world and still be miserable because you're wanting more. Because see, there's not enough to satisfy one of these egoic cravings. But let me tell you something. I never thought I'd say this. I might have said it before, but I haven't. It's just something I've noticed in the last while, which is that I have enough. I never thought that those words would come out of the Fred Davis unit's mouth. Never, never, ever, ever. I always wanted more. I always wanted more money. I was always trying to upgrade whatever I had, whether it was an automobile or a wife, it made no difference. I was always just demanding more. Other. Well, there's no other and there's no more. I make no demands now. Course in Miracles says something like, the one who knows himself as wholeness makes no demands. I make no demands. I got some requests, but all that's coming from Fred, and it's all nonsense. Because I don't even know that any of that should happen. I mean, I know that if it's supposed to, it will. And it can't be avoided. Somebody asked me today, I was talking about the teaching in satsang, and I said, well, the one about people clearing, getting pops, and then or actually waking, having big real awakenings, and then whether they cleared or not. And I said, one thing you can be sure of is that everybody who's supposed to will. But I just want to tell you that from the seat of awakeness, there may be some influence there. There really may be. This character there's no character here, right? So it's certainly got no free will. It's got no choices because it doesn't exist. There's just things happening. The choices happen, but they're not made. They're apparent choices, which is, it looks like I can do this or this, but really I can only do what I do. I can't do anything else. And that goes the same thing for that unit and that unit and that unit, on all of these units. They can only do what they do. Give up hope. Give up hope and bite into now. Give up hope of a dozen apples and bite into this one. And what's biting into the apple is not other than the apple. That's actually true. The seeker is the sought. You are what you're looking for. But I can tell you that any number of times. But one of these times you might get it, right? Takes what it takes until it takes. That's all I can say. Well, I think I'm about worn out here. I've said everything I want to say. So I'll see you later, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.